This video is sponsored by Tradecraft. Create your tags, tag your trades, store your recordings, create screenshots, and look at your statistics. You have the ability to create statistics using several widgets. You're able to place them wherever you please, having a place where you can store all your playbook trades, and you can quickly flip through them, studying all your trades. Tradecraft is more than a journal. It is a tagging software that allows you to create the statistics you need, where you have the ability to filter your trades out on an extremely deep level, allowing you to figure out exactly where your edge might be. For more information, check out the link in the description of this video or visit tradecraft.club.
What is up, everybody? Wait, is this fucking mic working? Missed last week. I don't really think anybody's in here. Usually you gotta let these fucking streams go on for a hot minute before people start to get into it, but either way, somebody's watching this after the fact, so we'll just start talking. Doing an earlier episode just because I got shit to do today, and it'll be kind of fun to just narrate the close a little bit, talk about what's been going on with my trading and shit, so we can go over the market. What's up, dude? And what's up, gentlemen? And just go over what's happening while I talk about shit. So I feel like, am I in the right spot? Am I in the right spot here? So a lot's gone on where I've been dealing with Delta. There's a cat behind the green screen. Hey! Get the fuck out of there. What are you doing in there? Come here. Come here. They want to see you. Never mind. Fuck, I ain't getting up. Long 70s. Long 70s, interesting. Let's actually look at 70s, see what's going on. I have not. Let me pan my head over and kind of like zoom it lower. So I can still be in the shot, but I'm not like, my fat fucking head's not in the way of everything. There we go. So this right here, by the way, so I think I've briefly talked about Delta and shit, how it removes wash trading. Like you can see it here. Now I did have Delta profiles up in this section at one point. Yes, up till yesterday, actually. Yesterday I didn't do so good, and I struggled on Monday. But today, perfect. So what I originally had going on back here was the as volume, like the difference here, and we had profiles like this. So we originally had Delta up. I struggled yesterday. If we look at yesterday's session, I still need to upload. I definitely fucking struggled. All those reds are bad trades. And yellow could have had some form of management adjustment. But this was yesterday. Not so good. I spent 2.5 hours reviewing it. I actually did something interesting. I made a hypnosis track. I'm doing a nightly hypnosis track. So I review the session. What are my lessons from that session? And then I run a hypnosis session all night long in some headphones and just sleep. Today it worked really fucking well. What I realized I was having problems with, like I was getting too hung up on these numbers here. And I realized that I was having problems with just looking too much into that, and I wasn't looking at classic price action. Again, these are deltas, so more buying happened in the green. Looks like the buyers are actually aggressive. So in order to still see sort of what they're doing, those numbers are a bit deceiving and hard to read. Is get rid of the text. Now it's coloring. Larger green is on larger buying. Big red is on more selling. But sometimes it fucks up. Like it's like large selling here. So the color gradient is a little fucking off. So we'll go ahead and do full background. when we look at it through this method, I can still see classic price action. I can see my reclaims. Where I noticed I was getting fucked up was not trading into my price action reclaims, something I've done for a long time at this point. So I'm sure you guys want to know what the hell's going on in the market. Let's take a look at the 3-minute. Because I traded this morning. I am done. Let's see what they're fucking doing. It's starting to really balance right here. You see this range? No, I'm not going to actually trade because then I have to review it, and I don't want to review more fucking trades. They're kind of balancing in this location, more so like here for now. What is the delta doing? Is there any diverging? Yeah, there is actually. This is telling us there's a lot of sell side reloading. See, the overall cumulative delta is going up, so there's a lot of sell side reloading going on. What's interesting though here is like it can be very deceiving. What gets interesting with these deltas is we can see like it's flat here, but this is going up. So what's happening in this midsection, the mid waist of the 3-minute right here, is they're spoofing it a lot. You're getting like tall price movements on like tighter bars in the delta, so there was a lot of spoofing going on. Which seems to be the theme of like slip ranges and shit in general. So you don't, if you're seeing volume going up but the bottom is holding, that it's not necessarily like buyers are reloading. I think it's really anybody's game at this point as far as the direction goes, because the divergences aren't like super fucking crystal clear. Yo, Chronic. I put you guys on a different. Chronic and I traded together today. He's prop trader. So let's put the 3-minute back. He got into trouble today because he did something he wasn't supposed to, and he knew it, but then he fixed the problems. So let's go back to my 30-second. So I do like looking at the deltas from this perspective. The problem is when you see a lot of red, that's obviously aggressive selling. But sometimes that aggressive selling is getting reloaded on, and there's a passive buyer. So you got to ask yourself, is the sellers really winning this, or is there some form of passive buying that's going to be reloading it? Same with the green. Please don't punish me, Daddy. So, what's up, dude? What's up, inconsistent trader? So we're just narrating this to figure out what is going on and just try to figure it out. The volume is sort of moving with it overall. Now, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is look for reclaims, which we don't really have too many of them. You have a reclaim here. There's a little bit up there, but it's not much. There's some here. Just these hard moves like this. See, this shit's kind of goofy over here. When you see these large delta bars, they can act like support and resistant, but I would not put all my weight on that by any fucking means. Starting to get crusty as fuck. We'll look at the 3-second chart on the right, 30 on the left. So it's starting to barcode and bracket. You said you're long 70s? Not bad. Man, it's so damn fucking tight. That's the problem. See, you look at the 3-second, it's literally in like a 2-tick, 3-tick fucking bullshit. I'll attempt to call out stuff, but we know we have some book imbalance here. So you see this on the delta. They tend to want to try to take these reclaims back. was so fucking bad. Here's a more traditional look at the 30-second. See, all the reclaims are kind of gone. There's a little bit up here. What's interesting though is like how it's really going up, but the top of this is reloading some of that. We obviously had a big fucking rally yesterday, and I think they initially took some of that back, but I have no idea if it's reacting off some sort of news or some shit of that, of like, who knows, right? But what we can see is these little green guys right here, so it is grinding up. So there is active buying in that section. How's your current read on Delta versus Nadro? I remember you didn't like CV Ace. What changed? Yeah, so while this is kind of just bullshitting around, what changed with the Delta? I read Anna Cooling's book on volume price analysis, which is traditional volume histograms, which, you know, a volume histogram at the bottom of your chart. When I was new, I first read a book by Mark Lavoyette on volume histogram. Then, like any good new trader, I deviated away from it, experimented with shit. Couldn't figure out how to make it work. And I was in a Reddit, a day trading Reddit, and somebody mentioned the book. I'm like, hey, that's kind of like nostalgic. I want to read this book on volume price analysis by a different author, because I do price action trading, like really good price action, being able to just read price action. So since I look at bars like this, well, it had been regular bars like this, I'm like, maybe volume histogram, like revisiting it, maybe that can complement the trading, right? So I revisited it, went through the book, noticed that the volume histogram, she talks about basically manipulation in the book. She calls it an anomaly. I can't even say that word. And she's talking about these anomalies. So if you have big price action, small volume, they're probably spoofing. A lot of price action, a lot of volume, little price action, they're probably reloading. So that's some form of manipulation. Hypothetically, you want to see volume and price move exactly with each other. So I'm looking at it, and like most of the time, it seemed like everything was being fucking manipulated. So I look at a 1 second chart after a session, and I go bar by bar by bar. And there was an uptrend. And I noticed as this uptrend was going up on the 1 second, the volume coming in wasn't very consistent. And for a long time, I believe there was a lot of wash trading in ES, which it's breaking up right now. Do that one reclaim. I believe there was a lot of wash trading in ES. So there's a lot of volume that cancels itself out. So I did a lot of like studies where I would take time and sales, and I noticed that when you looked at the market orders on the buy side versus the sell side, they always balanced. So I'm like, that's strange. And then I looked at time and sales for just 1 lots, 2 lots, 3 lots, 11 lots, all the way up to 50. And I noticed that the volume, the buys versus the sells, almost always balanced. So I was trying to remove this wash trading, because if you look at a footprint, a regular DOM or a footprint with regular volume, you'll notice a lot of the times on specific price, there's a lot of very similar volume, and most of that kind of cancels itself out. Like that volume is just a wash, in my opinion. They're hitting this reclaim up here. They are going up on slightly aggressive volume, and there's a reclaim here. I'm kind of bullshitting, so if I was to take this reclaim, They need to pull this delta back here, which they are. And let's see if they take this back. There could be an entry at 81 long, assuming you get the fill on it. If I'm wrong and you took the trade, that's your fault. So it is mushing down a little bit. It looks like they're going to run this. The market's not moving for fuck all, though, you know. So they are balancing here. Let's erase these lines. So they do balance reclaims. I would fucking... They're reloading, but the problem is they could dump it. I would actually pull that for like a tick of loss. Because they may actually come into this right here. Look. Oh. Yep, see this green bar? The fuck is my damn cursor not working for? The market drifted up. So, anyways, I noticed they're wash trading a lot. Let's look at this thing. Yeah, see, pulling that would have been the good choice. See, the delta kind of tells you. So I noticed they're wash trading. The volume's always balancing. Not wash. We're talking about wash trading. So there's a lot of market orders that are hitting on the same price that just don't even fucking matter. It's like they cancel each other out. Like if you see 850 that hit on the sell side and 860 that hit on the buy side on the same price, it doesn't fucking matter. What's left? Well, 850 minus 860, it's a 10 lot on the buy side. And if the price moves, really hypothetically it moved on a 10 lot. I think they wash trade to hide what they're doing. I think the markets are highly fucking manipulated. So why would they wash trade? They wash trade. Well, if you notice, a lot of the times on the bid offer, it looks like it's, what, 60 lots thick or whatever. But oftentimes, once the spread gets right at the price, that's when you start to see the little spoofing or reloading, right? Most of the bid offer, in my opinion, is an illusion. So I feel like they're wash trading. And when I was looking at volume price analysis, I'm like, man, they are wash trading. And the problem is they put in all this volume, like 850 by 860. It doesn't, that volume doesn't fucking matter because it's like, it's a wash. Whether it's manipulated washing or it's different traders, it doesn't matter. That volume didn't matter. If you have 850 buy, 850 sell on the 860 sell or whatever on the same fucking price, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that like 10 lot. So I vibe coded something to remove the fucking wash trading, and then I had a realization. I'm like, wait a second. Delta removes the wash trading. So I realized I can see past all the bullshit with the delta and see what it's truly moving on. And really, all it is just, it's pure volume. They're just getting rid of the wash. All the nonsense. You know, if you have a specific price and it's 50 by 55, well, 50 of that didn't really matter because it just all broke even. So it's a way to manipulate order flow and hide what they're doing, because you got to realize that it's basically algos competing against other algos. So this is actually interesting. No, let me look at this shit. So it's algos competing with algos. So what are they going to do? They're going to hide what they're doing in the fucking order flow. They're going to hide what they're doing. Man, that's so bad, though. Look at that shit. So the delta removes that. And then, obviously, when you start to see divergences, you can tell if there's one side reloading or another. But also, you can see these numbers coming in with delta profiles, which is a whole nother fucking animal. What I notice is when you start to see divergences, I don't see any good ones. But let's say, let me pull up Paint. Let's say you got price doing this, right? Price is doing this. It's diverging up and delta's going down like this. Well, that's more selling pressure, but the price is going up. So that means buyers are reloading. Now, if it's doing this, if it's like going up and volume's raising with it, then that's telling us it could be natural volume that's moving with it. But then there can be times where it diverges in a weird fucking way, and it's not really reloading. Ideally you want to see price go up, volume go down to know if buyers are reloading, and vice versa here. I want to see the sellers trying to hold the market down and the volume going up to know that they are truly reloading. Now, one would think that they're reloading at the bottom of these pivots. Well, with the delta histogram, the delta profile, oftentimes you can see most of the reloading might be like somewhere in the middle or some shit of the actual price action, which sort of kind of skews the narrative a bit. So when they're diverging, if you play delta divergences, realize they're not necessarily buying the bottom of that price action. Most of that volume that's causing the divergence could be somewhere else in the price. But what really is interesting is the actual delta candles, they always hit reclaims on them. Notice they reclaimed it here. That's why I said I'd pull that one trade for a tick. They reclaimed it here. They're always fucking reclaiming on the delta for the most part. Obviously, there's an up move. I always thought that was strange, and it's something I noticed a long time ago. Well, market makers are always trying to balance their books. They're always trying to balance the orders coming in so that when the delta is going up and down from a candlestick perspective, when they have these reclaims, that's when you sort of that's them sort of balancing the book, but then they start to reload a bit. Like, for example, right here, this up move right here, we have a bit of divergence, see? So what's most likely happening is there's more selling going on, which is being reloaded, by the way. So if we drew this on here, you know, see how the price is diverging? You would be like, oh, you know, most of the selling is happening down here. Not really. It actually happened up here. So that makes things kind of interesting. Let's see what you guys are saying. Got the 80s. Congrats. I always thought a lot that are option dealers hedging with ES minis. You would think, but I don't know. I gotta like figure out why. And for me, figuring out why requires me to like actually look at the order flow. What does reclaim mean? Well, here, let's look at this. So it's a 30-second chart. Do you see this hard up move right here? They took it back. You see this hard up move? They took it back. Hard up move, take it back. Now, you could say, they're ranging. But they do that all the time, even on trends. Like, it kind of is trending down right here. But you'll often see these hard moves, and they always retrace them. Now, there's a lot of nuance to it, and it's not as simple as just getting in. Trust me. But they also do it on the delta as well, which is interesting. And when you start to see those divergences, you can tell if one side is reloading or another. And what I'm finding works really well is, like, I love playing reclaims. that's where I have a lot of edge is in the price action is reclaim. I have like episode 11 or 8 or 4, I don't remember, of the live streams. I talk about price action and what I look at. But they retrace hard moves. Any like parabolic, any little parabolic move, they retrace it. You can even see it on the higher time frame, like the 30-minute. See, hard move, retrace, retrace. They retrace partially here. Hard move, little hard move, retrace, hard move. And in my opinion, they're always doing that. Every product for years. That is the one fucking thing you can lean on that is consistently showing up versus like a wedge pattern or a head and shoulders or whatever. That is something they are consistently fucking doing. Okay, this is getting interesting right here. So you have delta imbalance, right? You actually have it two ways. You have a reclaim above us, which they kind of took. We want to use a 3-second to like potentially like time in. Again, I'm not trading. I already did it this morning. I figured I'd narrate with you guys. So this is relatively tight. I would want a slightly more pullback. Or I could nail 80.75 potentially. Let's see. There's a slight reclaim. Right there, I would go try to get an 80.70. No. I would want to wait. I would have wanted it already, which would have been 80.75s. I'd probably miss the motherfucker. They took that back, but the problem is there's some backside risk here. See how there's a little bit of a reclaim here on the 3-second? I'd want them to take that back. This is a fucking mess up here. So see how they're taking that back? They're retracing it. And they're more consistent at actually retracing the delta than price action reclaim. So trying to get those two things to match is where the real magic is. I just caught up with the stream on 2X, interested on your volume insights, but I have to say I read Anna's book recently and was really unimpressed by it. Really? Sorry to hear that. What did you not like about it? I went through it multiple times. And you also, you know, we all, from our levels of experience, we all just get different things out of shit. Like I may be seeing things or it resonated for me in a way it didn't for you. Seems to be the case. But, you know, sometimes I used to not like Delta. I used to think it was bullshit, and then people defended it. I do, however, mention, though, if it works, keep using it. I always mention that if there's something I just don't see, it's not the indicator or whatever. See how they're retracing it? I just don't see it. It's like a magic trick. It's like an illusion. I don't know how the magician's sawing the lady in half. I don't understand it. So I can't see it. But just because I can't see it doesn't mean you guys can't. You guys can't see it either. It's really important not to fully dismiss it. Now, reading her book and interpreting it from a Delta perspective is kind of helpful. But chapters 1 and 2, where she really talks about how the market makers work, how manipulation was going on back in Wyckoff's era, that for me was pretty substantial to understand that she also had a theory that there was some bullshit going on. That resonated with me because I knew the volume was not right. Let's see what you guys are saying. I talked to option dealers, and those guys sell and buy minis, 100s. Yeah, but those are dealers. They're not full-blown market makers. There's going to be a difference between the dealers and the market makers, from my understanding. Do you still use the DOM? Yeah, I absolutely use the fucking DOM. I'm new to the channel. I've watched a few videos you made. Love them, by the way. Yeah, I do, but I think order flow is more. DOM has its benefits, but like knowing your queuing position, it's easier to execute on. Just seeing the liquidity, seeing and then snapshotting and seeing if what's going on, but directly reading it can be pretty difficult. It does have benefits. I think. Let's see. I think there isn't a lot of info in there and too much waffling. A couple of things she mentions, like large body candles. Being more likely being high, I just don't think it's true. What? I think there a couple of things she mentions, like large body candles being more likely to be high volume. Well, the problem is the wash trading. She wrote a book in an era when the wash trading wasn't so bad, and I think you have to look at it from a delta perspective. The problem with the histogram is when you have all this fucking order flow coming in. I don't have a DOM up right now. It's on my other computer, which is off. Let me pull up today's session. Actually, let's pull up today's session. Let me explain. I enjoyed the book personally. Let's see, but it is what it is. But I applied it in my own fucking way, you know what I mean? So let's look at today's session. So here's the DOM. Okay. So here's a problem. Watch the market orders on the right. Let me actually zoom in a little bit on it so you guys can see it better. So look how you got like 133 by 272 or this 80 by 92. Dude, only 12 of that really fucking matters, in my opinion, because a lot of it is trading with itself. Same with here. Like, look how it's like 136 by 128, 132 by 72. Like, most of that volume is sort of canceling itself out. And if you notice, the price goes up and down a lot. It gyrates. Like the Gary Norden method of scalping, if you're not familiar with it, is like two-way volume where you see volume flowing here and then it's also flowing here at the same time. That does not happen in ES. Oftentimes they'll hit one price and it'll keep ticking up and down and the flanking prices aren't really printing. So therefore getting one-tick scalps is really difficult. Now, I would have to be clearing out those orders and shit, but we can see it just retracing a lot. And look, it's like 421 by 514. In my opinion, and now they dump it, like a lot of that is happening on the same exact fucking price. So 563 minus 471. The only outstanding amount of volume here is 92 contracts on the fucking buy side. Yet the market dumps. And this is what I was doing with I did this last Friday because I struggled. Wait. Something happened on last Friday where I struggled. I went frame by frame like this. Like when I press the period button. Let's see if I have it to where I clear all that shit out. No. Let's do it from the top. So I would go frame by frame like this. And I would, on a sheet of paper, mark down every time a contract hit. So it went So it went up by what? Two, 3 lots right there. And what I notice, and I spent hours doing this, what I would notice, then it goes up a couple more right there. A few more, so they're definitely buying. Now see this 18, then it's a 10 lot there. Right? It shows 43 bid. Let's see what happens. Nobody's hitting the fucking offer. It goes 19, so it was 18 originally, 37. Notice how that went up. See this 51 went to 60? You didn't even see the fucking market drop. What happened was this bid actually fucking disappeared. So there was originally 18 here. What happened was the bid dropped on 0 contracts. They spoofed it. And then some market orders hit here. And then it went back up. But it happened so quick, the DOM won't show it because it's 20 frames per second. You got to understand that. Like, your DOM's not showing all of the limits because, I mean, they're trading at a millisecond level. So they're pulling and stacking at such a high rate of speed, your DOM can't fucking see it. Again, if we go back, it's 18 lots when they pushed up. It goes 19. And then this will go to 60. And this goes to 37. So the bid disappeared after that one fucking contract hit. And then this got hit with a 9 lot. So 9 contracts were here. It went from 51 then 60, and then it immediately popped up. So this went down on 1 lot. This was a 9 lot, and it traded so quick you don't see it. And that is an example of spoofing. Then it goes 49. So what is I can't do math for shit. Look, guys, I can't be good at everything, okay? So 49 minus what is it, 37? So there was a 12 lot here. There was a fucking 12 lot here. And then it got pushed down, and there was only a 12 lot there. So a lot of what you're seeing across the level 2, the depth, is just an absolute fucking illusion. And there are times where they are boosting it on nothing. You can see it. And then the delta helps you see it more. So the problem with the volume histogram she teaches is you're getting too much wash trading. That's what I discovered. You're getting too much wash trading. So what does it do? It makes the volume histograms go up. But most of that volume doesn't even fucking matter. Same thing with the volume profile. A lot of that shit is just kind of wash trading with itself. Excuse me. So a lot of the volume profile is being built on just this order flow that's canceling itself out at the same price because it ticks up, ticks down, ticks up, ticks down, bid offer, kind of like we just saw. They're doing that a lot. That's why when we look at, let me reset this. That's why when we look at something like this 3-second chart, they are constantly in these like 3-tick ranges. And it's just this fucking ebb and flow of wash trading going on. Which in turn creates artificial fucking volume. And I know you guys are talking about dealers and options guys, but those are different than the market makers from my understanding. So once you kind of look at it from a delta perspective, you start to see the spoofing and the reloading more frequently. But you'll see big movements on small move. You'll see big movements on low volume. Like, for example, this will show it. So if we go to this cumulative delta bars, and we go to the number bars actually, we're going to put this back on, which is bid by volume. Put on the profile. Should be bid ask profile actually. Oops, I don't want to see the not a percentage. Oh fuck, I'm fucking everything up. What am I fucking? Just cancel it. Cancel it, fat cat. So go back into number bars. Bid ask difference profile. But I just want to see. I just want to see the. See if this is it. Or I'm fucking up. Sorry guys, I'm not like the smartest shit when it comes to this fucking shit. So the number bars, I'll just put this profile on like so. Well, it's not fucking working. Based on trades. Man, I really fucked this up, didn't I? Sorry, guys. There it is. There you go. That's what we fucking wanted. Jesus fucking Christ. There we fucking go. So, like, after the wash trading is done, you can sort of see, because when they trade back and forth, it, like, cancels itself out. You can see what it's really being moved on. Like, here it dumped on a 2-lot. A 32 lot, a 22 lot. Let's see. You typically want to find a good-ass, like, reclaim. Let's look for a reclaim that's not having any bar overlap. Give me a minute. Where is a good? It'll be more in the over here. So that this actually got driven up on like big ass fucking buying. But sometimes you'll see movement. I think maybe here. Especially when it's volatile. A 21 lot traded here and a 32. And remember, it's like kind of bouncing up and down very rapidly, but then it dumps. And once you remove that wash traded volume, this market is not as thick as we think it is, in my opinion. You guys can take it or leave it. It's 143, but I'll call out trades and we'll just start calling out trades or some bullshit. Let me see what you guys are saying, but I'm going to take these off. But her whole perspective about the manipulations, her Uncle Joe or whatever, how it's been going on, how they're always balancing, that to me was huge for me. I don't know, it just kind of made me realize. It may seem like common sense to some of you, but oftentimes there's shit right under your nose and you're not fucking seeing it. And this is my journey, and I got to go on my fucking journey, man. But we definitely, like, my trading has certainly improved. Well, I had struggled for the last week or so, but once I started, I strayed from actual price action, which was fucking me. So that was kind of fucking me. No text. Apply. And then we'll do this on full. Like so. And then it kind of gives you an idea of like where more buying or selling is going on. Let me see what you guys are saying real quick. I'm yet to run a statistical analysis on it, to be fair. I do agree with the markets are highly manipulated. Of course they are. Fuck, man. That's how it works. When the new Colt Cat video coming out? I don't know, man. I can tell you about some creepy shit, which I used in a meditation. Looks like it wants to move higher. I do cumulative delta. I don't think I'm the best at reading it yet. So let me show you how yeah, we'll touch on it. I'll touch on it. Dang weird schedule. Yeah, I got shit to do today, man. I've been reviewing so much the last 2 days. I haven't had time to like just live life. Let me show this dude back tested on the delta how we're doing it. At least me. This is the fat cat way of doing it. It's going to be basically reclaims. I believe the market makers are balancing the books, which Anna talks about. So check it out. We have a reclaim here, which they are kind of already taking it back. I'll tell you some Cult of Cat shit. Let's see. There's a little bit of reclaim here. But let's get a good call in. Let's call something. Or attempt. So just tracking the reclaims like I do, because that is my shit. But good thing we would have pulled that one trade at 81s, otherwise we would have got fucked. So there is still some delta up here. Or, yeah, some imbalance. So in my opinion, they're balancing the book when you see the delta like moving up and down like this. Because look, the market makers they obviously are making a market, so they're buying into this down move and they're selling into the up move. They're obligated to make a market. So there's a nice reclaim. There's a little bit of reclaim here and a little bit of reclaim here. It's only worth a few ticks. I would let this balance on the 3 second. Meaning get to the bottom of this move. The problem is there's a reclaim on both fucking sides of it. We need to zoom out and see what they're fucking doing overall. Did shit its fucking pants, didn't it? See how it's like low colors? That's delta, so that means a lot of this like maroon is a low selling volume, so it was kind of spoofed down a little bit. But let's see what they're doing here. Jesus, what the fuck? All right. So this is kind of balancing right here. Oh. A lot of selling back into this reclaim. Is there any clean reclaims? The problem is there's no clean reclaims. We need patience with a capital. We got this going on. And they do that Ninja Trader TV shit. Maybe like just narrating closes or some shit might be fun. You know? Because I talk a lot of theory with you guys, but I think it's good to just show it. You know, like actually, like, that's how I built the channel, is just showing this shit. Unfortunately, it's very dead, and we can't press. Press means forcing a fucking trade. So what's interesting is they kind of hit a little bit of aggressive buying, but then they spoofed it in that section. Some aggressive reloading on the buy side. See these red squares? A little bit of aggressive buying, and then they sort of spoofed it up, and now it's trying to find its... I want to be surprised if they did push it low. But then again, they are compressing it up, and there's book imbalance up here, so this reclaim, they're trying to run it. The problem is, though, you'll see them pop it, but the price doesn't move. I want to get the reclaims to match. The read on this, let's pull up a 3-minute, though. I do want to look at the 3-minute. I want to know, like, I always want to know what they're fucking doing overall. Let's see, and this is kind of like a volume profile, but it's the delta. removes all the wash traded shit. And there's obviously something has happened on this big ass green bar, which we can see here that it was 1,700 fucking lots, and it was holding the market down. So it's mostly buying, but somebody was reloading it and holding the market down. The price action couldn't get through it. They keep testing it, and I imagine it could be a point of control or some shit for now. There's still some reclaim here. There's just a little bit up there. We want to make sure there's no reclaim here. Oh, shit. Nobody told me I had two big-ass heads on the fucking screen. Shit. It's like a fucking watermarking shit. Let's see what they do. I want to see them balance this. The problem is there's this one here as well. So it is a little tight right there, which is nice. Oh, there it goes. See how it pukes more on the volume than what happened here? And then there's a little more green, so that's telling us that a lot of buying kicked in, and there was a little bit of reloading as well. Like, it's brighter green, so more like a high amount of contracts actually fucking came in. They did slap that down. See, now it's ripping up. The book is balancing, in my opinion. Let's see if... Try to call a move, and then I'm going to tell you guys a freaky-ass fucking story. And it has to do with trading. The story doesn't, but what I did with it. Okay, let's fucking... just see, there's too much reclaim on the backside. They could pop it up here. I would want to see some retracement to this point right here, this 1020. Oh, it's fucking thundering outside, bless. They kind of popping that back. I would ideally want to see him take it here. Otherwise, an 80 long. Oop. Let's see, they could pull it down here. I'd fucking want to probably break even on that. Well, then again, I'd want to break even for sure. See, now they're pulling it into that delta. So we try to get an 80 break even. I want to see him like... Ah, shit. See, they're fucking... It's so difficult. As a scalper, when there's no fucking volatility, it becomes substantially fucking difficult. And this fucking reclaim's been taken. It's worth a fucking point. Notice all these little red squares. They are reloading it on the buy side. I'd let them balance this a little better. There's a little too much bullshit. So what will happen is this could dump and the price starts to diverge like this. And this could go flat. So the book is balanced. You'll see that, man. It's fucking crazy. Yes, so definitely the reclaims on the delta, they're so good because they're always balancing the book. And if you can get the price into a reclaim as well. So it's kind of trying to match the two. They ran balance there. I was bullshitting you, but had I been not bullshitting with you, I would maybe have attempted the 80 at this point. The problem is, you know, I would have hit this 3 times now for break evens. Really, it's just kind of like fucking let it go type of shit. But man, this fucker's been holding a lot. And it's really compressed. The problem is they could stop it run it. You have all that imbalance at low. So that looks like they're going to run it. If they can just rotate off the bottom. Like you want it to really double bottom. It's working its way up, which is nice. I mean, that's the problem. You're kind of stuck at it. Like, there we go. But I would want them to retrace this. You'll often see the cumulative delta cycle. We'd still be an 80. Realistically, I'd take it for the 2 ticks. I'd try to get out at 80.50. Personally, me. Because the volatility is bad. I'd take it for the 2 ticks. VWAP, what price is VWAP at? See, the problem is it's like we know they reloaded here a lot and held it. See this giant fucking reclaim here? Let's see if they can hit it, but the problem is they could hit this one backwards here. On the 3-second. That's why I want to watch the 3-second as well. But also this son of a bitch is grinding up so tight. What freaks me out is if they stop run it. To me, it could go either fucking way. There they go. See, look, they pushed, look, book balance. I would have fucking, yeah, I could have held it, but for me, I'm taking 2 ticks, a point, 2 ticks. That's just how I do it. I don't want to sit in something, and especially with these low rotations, because every time I get fucked. I get fucked. I am a penny pincher, and I will do that. Overall idea wasn't too bad, though. 81-ish. So there's a VWAP up here. We want to see if there's anything else above us. Yeah, you got a lot here. Just kind of mark out those reclaims. So they're getting through that. There could be a good stop run above it. Potentially, I don't know. They may want to... Actually, if they were going to stop running, it would have probably popped harder. Like, are they reloading the backside? They're spoofing it. See how it's like a low color? Like it's like a light shade of green and red? It's dumping on lower contract size. So they move... So you'll see them spoofing it, and in my opinion, is to like bring in FOMO buyers or sellers or freak people out, because then the market makers can reload into that stop run. But note, like, okay, yeah, I'm in it at 80 and the motherfucker comes back, you know? So, oh, Penny Pincher? Wait, what was your nickname, Chronic? I gave you a nickname. Was it Penny Pincher or was it Chronic's been doing really fucking good picking up pennies. He's fucking crushing. He's on another level, man. Yeah, it does chop like shit here, huh? Well, it's also got no goddamn fucking volatility, dude. I don't know why I don't use tick charts. I just like time base. I've been using them forever. I don't really would know the reason to use it. For me, it works. It's kind of hard to fucking stop doing something that doesn't work anymore. Or it's hard to stop using something that's working. So I guess if there's a true blue profile here, would 80 be the point of control? Because that's a delta profile. Look how it's dumping and the volume's fucking rising. That right there is a sign of spoofing, man. That's not like a good divergence. Like, why the fuck would the price dump on rising volume? You know? You do have a price reclaim. Actually, this is okay. Let's hunt. There you go. Here we go. We would want to see this pull back. Here. The yellow doesn't mean anything. My hotkey selected the wrong box. They're trying to balance. I think there could be a long potential at these 81s. But there we go. A nice pullback. That's what we want to see. This would be an okay area. Maybe an 80.75. Maybe. So let's just say hypothetically we're in it there. I would definitely probably attempt the... Let's see what they do. I would definitely fucking probably take a 1 tick loss on that. Would have maybe gotten filled at the 80.50. See, this is what I was afraid of. They were going to retrace this. That reclaim up there held. It's balance here. Could be good. 79.25s or some shit. Potentially. To the long side. Can they push it through there? They're almost balancing. 70.50. I would probably attempt to get out for a tick or some shit at that point. I'm just like, for me, it's too hard to get more than a couple of ticks in this fucking environment. $79.25s. We may have not got... Yeah, I'd go for the tick. Could have got the 2 out of it, but... Definitely pulling shit. Definitely would be pulling shit right before I get fucked, though. That's the thing about that delta balancing, though, man. So they are trying to run it to the upside. You get a little upside divergence, so there is reloading going on. They never truly stop ran this, which has been holding. And then you have all this strong green that just kind of held the market down in this section. And they've been trying to hold it down. See, and that's the thing. It didn't stop run through this section. And whoever's reloading here, you know, they got a better deal up here anyways. That's the way I see it. But it really seems like the book is trying to balance up because there's a lot of fucking reclaim above us. But the problem is, how much reloading are they going to do? We know we have a reclaim here worth about 4 ticks. That could be worth it. Realistically, I don't want to be trading reclaims for a fucking 2 ticks or some shit. I don't like picking up 2. A point is my minimum go-to. If I can't get that, I'd rather not deal with this environment. And trading the mornings is so much fucking better. But if I have to grind out through this garbage, I would. I've done it. By the way, on the challenge just YouTube won't allow me to comment on my core account. Huh? I don't remember who that is. What? This is Sierra Charts popcorn zone. Anyways, adding delta to volume bars compared to time changed a lot for me because time bars hide how much contracts trade for that delta. Oh, that's interesting. So you can have 5 minutes of super hardcore volume and then 5 minutes of shit volume. But that's two same bars of time-based chart. This is Sierra Charts. Oh, yeah, getting a point in the morning is substantially fucking easier, dude. Is you a millionaire? Love from Pakistan. No, I'm not. I'm not, dude. Sorry. Does delta divergence reliability predict reversals? Not necessarily. It can if it's like really... The problem with the delta divergence is, man, sometimes they diverge on both sides, and then they start spoofing a lot. Yesterday when we were going up, there was a point where you would see them diverging, where selling would come in and the buying would go, and then they would spoof it up, and then it would come down, and then you would get that divergence. I think there's certain circumstances when divergence is good. It's good to know, but it is very fucking nuanced. Like, for example, if you're having a hard time seeing it on, like, this 3-minute chart, which it was here, but I notice, like, there are times where you see the divergence, but then they blow them out, dude. And when you do your divergences, you want to make sure that it looks like this. So let's say we got buying. You want to see more selling. You want to see it diverge this way because that means they're truly reloading the bottom side. And if you're seeing selling, it could even be flat too. You want to definitely see the volume like actually going upward. Now, there could be the reverse of the divergence where you're seeing a lot of buying coming in. Like if you see a lot of buying coming in, that's not buying. That's selling. This is what I'm noticing. If you're seeing a lot of buying like this, right? And it kind of like it's kind of like sideways on the delta. What's most likely happening is on the up legs, they're spoofing it up. And this isn't really diverging. It kind of is. But if you're really seeing them make that 45-degree sort of angle, that's when you can really tell. But you got to be careful too, man, because sometimes that shit gets stop ran. Because we were using it, and it was working really well. I had a week, not last week, but the week before. I didn't take one losing fucking trade all week, and I was really leaning into that shit. And then it stopped working, and then I realized there was... the market regimes changed. We started slipping more. So there's definitely fucking nuance and a learning curve with it all. But it's like, how are they really diverging? They're kind of doing it on both ends. See, like right here, man. See this type of divergence? Rising volume, but this fucker's flat? It's because they fucking are spoofing these low legs. And notice how tall these legs are compared to these volume bars. That means when a little bit of volume comes in, the fucking bids and offers are pulling. And they're doing that to stimulate more volume, in my opinion. Or to get dumbasses like us to fall for it, which I've done plenty of fucking times. Let's keep looking out. I want to call a good one. I want to call a point. Price divergence. No, it's just a slight divergence where the price rips up, but delta stays flat. Yeah, I just drew that example. By the way, my point about time and delta kind of skips the concept of volume still, because you can get plus 10 sold. Cumulative diabolical word. Come dealt. I caught a really nice long on ES right after the long bearish 1:30 p.m. candle. Nice, dude. Okay, here we go. So they're pushing into a bigger deal. There's a reclaim up here. We're actually starting to stay above in this section. You can see a lot of little red guys. They're holding. And there was aggressive buying too. See, I'm not looking when this son of a bitch fucking goes up. So right here, you kind of have that divergent. You have reclaim, 2 reclaims. I'm a little wary though. Like, what is the overall narrative? I would be wary about a short there, even though it's matching. Because this fucking area has held the market down for so long. And this is this part of the delta is starting to work up higher than it's been. And there's just a point where they can't hold the volume back. They're not willing to take this all the way back down here. See, this is my concern about like this little reclaim. And then there's another one above us as well. And the way this kind of dumped and it rotated right on the mid of that high node is a bit of a trip, right? I want to see him bound. This is a bit of a coin flip. It's kind of in a spot where it's like they could squeeze it either way, and I'd rather just wait. See, they didn't pull it down, which I was really wary about. Now you got more of this shit going on. They're clearly trying to take this upper imbalance, that white box on the 32nd down here. They took this, but they're also leaving some fucking reclaims behind. And they're doing it on aggressive fucking buying, too. Let's see what they're doing in this section. You have a price reclaim up there. If I was to go for that, I need them to close that reclaim a little bit, which would be here. And they would need to balance this, which they didn't totally close it. And they spoofed it downward a little bit. They're like dumping it on low volume. They're clearly attempting to run this. So for me, I think there could be a good long. But if I was trading this environment, I would want to be very defensive about the approach. They're not giving it up here. This thing is walking. Obviously, they're reloading here. See how the volume pops, but this is staying flat. That's a little... That's a little bit of a trip. I'm like in super focus mode now. My face looks like this. They're putting it in that reclaim. I just want to see an open to get into it. So the overall thesis of us going long is starting to pan out. My hesitations about us going back into that reclaim held true. So I have a good pulse check on the environment. Man, they're fucking just ripping it. And this is where you don't FOMO in, though. You know what I mean? This is where you just sit on your fucking hands. Because, like, scalping, I can just I can find shit. It'll just materialize a lot of the times. Come on, pull it down. Pull the volume down is what I want to see. There's the volume dumping. Somebody's reloading. The fucking delta's kind of like channeling up. There you go. That's what I want to see. See? You don't FOMO that shit. I don't know how far they would drive it. This could be an okay go at it. 82, 75 if I could get it. To the long. We'd be up 2 ticks here. I'd probably attempt to get out at, see this reclaim got retraced. They are pushing. I'd be up 3 on it. Could I get it? Could I get out at 84s? There's still a lot of reclaim here. This is what my face looks like right now. When I trade, so you know, that's what I do. God, you have so much reclaim above us. Oof. I'd probably be wanting to fucking get the fuck out of it. Let's see. They're spoofing it up. I like that. There you go. I'd take. I don't know. I might push it just for that 84.25. I don't think I'd get filled on it. I would work the Q84s. Probably wouldn't have got filled on that either. I'd work the Qs, 84s. Come on. Probably get filled right there. Yeah, that would be most likely a fill. Most likely. Maybe, maybe not. I'd still attempt to work it. So there's a point. Oh, you took it. Hey, man, be careful taking what I take. What's the draw type? What's the draw type in Sierra on your top charts? This one up here, this is called number bars. So number bars, take a screenshot. You're going to want to do this. So no text, full background, based on AS volume percentage. So this is going to give us the delta difference. Then you want to do none. Wait. Oh, that's text background, which we don't need because we don't have text. And then obviously I fade the colors in here to like dark red, dark green, and fade it out to lighter colors. Because you're going to be like stock like this, so it has more of a fade effect. So larger volume is going to be more of the brighter colors. time highlight you don't really need. And then down here, it's just, this one's cumulative deltas, transparent. We have a current price line. Then we have the delta profile over here, which that will be from session start. So it's RTH. It's going to say volume profiles is the draw type. Trading start time. Ticks 1. You don't need to worry about that. 8:30 to 3 because I'm central. And then you go, you want to make sure this is at trading start time to end, reset at day session. And then we have down here, display volume bars, ask minus bid, because that's deltas. Is it still going up? This one over here, this number bar is a 3 second. It's basically the same shit as this. 30 and 3. Because I really want to fine tune, you could see on the 3 second the entries. And you know, this thing could go to the moon. I wouldn't give a fuck. I got my point. I don't care. They're spoofing it up a little bit. See how it's like going up on dark green and shit? That's going up on less volume. So the thing about, like, I don't know, I can grind out a lot of sessions with just a point. Like, I don't give a fuck, man. For me, like, having an ego where I need to pick up. Okay, hold on. Before I piss everybody off. I know some of you guys like the old trades and shit. That's on you. But for me, I feel like there is something that was inside of me. Maybe it was the greed. Maybe it was my ego where trying to push a big-ass trade makes you feel good or whatever. I am just better at scalping. So every time I try to fucking hold a trade, most of the time, it just does not work well. And Chronic is here. Chronic, you can speak. He's in the chat, my prop trader. Chronic scalps. How's that been going for you, Chronic? Rolling in points and ticks and shit? He's been doing pretty fucking well, man. Because when we looked at his Tradecraft journal and we looked at his aggressive trading versus, which mine is like here. Let's look at it real quick. Main dash. So, like, this purple line is basically trying to push a trade or hold. Look how janky and jagged it is. And conservative is really more scalping. What was interesting about Chronic, when you would look at his P&L, it would look like this, where it would be, he would have his aggressive line would be going down like this, and his conservative trading, his scalping would go up like that, but his fucking P&L was like straight in the fucking middle because this was killing him. And now we swapped him over to just like straight up scalping, and he's doing so much better. I don't know. Personally, for me, the guys that I've seen be able to pull it off, which isn't too many, you know, it's just where I'm see people who are hitting a stride is with scalping, and he's been doing it and doing very well. Look, they're dumping the volume, they're reloading here. He's been doing a lot fucking better. Like, he's pretty close to getting there. So in my opinion, I just have so many problems with pushing a fucking trade. Look at this son of a bitch dumping in, man. You know, and what they just fucking watch him just V-flush it. And it just keeps going down. And then I'm like, oh my God, I could have got a point. I could have got the fucking point. instead of trying to hold it all the way to 90s or some shit. I think there's a time and place where the VIX 20. There's just, you need good when the good volatility rolls in, it's a lot easier to push the trades. But this like really highly, they would have been coming back to my fucking entry. See, that's what I'm fucking talking. This is exactly why I fucking scalp. But also, do you notice how the delta was just dumping? That fucking hard dump like that? Look, and they spoofed it down, those fucking devils. They really did jerk it around on a lot of shit. But it's like, this would be coming back roughly to entry. And I'm telling you, and look, I could be holding that trade for a retest, and let's say it does work. But then it comes back. Which is what fucking happens a lot. Then I hold it and it works. This is what I've noticed between Chronic and I. Because like Monday, Tuesday I struggled. Friday I struggled. He was crushing it. What I noticed is when I was sitting in a fucking trade, he'd be scalping all around my entry. And I'm like, fuck, the ticks he's adding up would equal out the move. Maybe more. And now I'm fucking sitting in drawdown. So for me, it's just not worth it. Yeah, I'm going to try to review this one, and it's going to be a doozy. Hit me up later. Can't stomach the windows, though. Motive wave on stomach. Crushing it. Oh, what are you guys talking to each other or some shit? Let me see what you guys are saying. Holy shit, I spotted the spoofing on the DOM. The block order disappear, market moves up. Yeah, make sure you have your market orders on the inside columns. So you can see. And if you're clearing it, if you're able to clear it quickly, you'll see them do it. It'll go up on like a fucking... Sometimes they only do it for a tick or two, but you'll see them go up on like a 6 lot or a 16 or some shit. You're going to see it in the market orders. The limits are deceiving. You'll have to... Let me see if I can pull up like the session real quick. Let me see if we can spot it in here. Actually, we want to see the price action too. I have not timestamped this. Let's go back to here. 28, 928. This is my morning session. Shit, I'm fucking with everything. So we're not going to see it. Because I was kind of fucking with... here we go. I think it dumps right here. Okay. It becomes very difficult to see. Let's see if this is it. So that's down to a 9 lot right here. See how this is? Oh, you can't see it. It's kind of easier to see here. But look, right here. So let me zoom in more. Because this is delta, right? So watch how it... Let me make sure I can like... I know it is a bit blurry. But see this 20 and this 40? So that's like wash trading. They're buying and selling at the same fucking price. Seeing how it's going down, that means more buyers are coming in. And then they buy enough of it that it goes down to 19 or whatever. And then right there, it kind of dumped on nothing. So we want to, so one lot. I think this goes fast if I'm not mistaken. Right there. There we go. 7 by 7. Kind of a little 2-tick spoof, like right there. So let's look at it on the DOM. Let me get, okay. So let's go to DOM. So if we go frame by frame. So you got 80 by 602. Let me take a note. It's really hard to see. It's easier to see on the Delta. I'll just put it that way, okay? So we got 480 by 480 by 602. That's where the spread is. So look, you got 36 lots. 36. Right? So 518 minus 480. So 38 lots did come in. So actually more came in than what was there. But my Delta doesn't have that 7 lot coming in. And then it goes 305, so 1 lot immediately comes back. That 95 stays the same. So you have 195 by 308. 35, so you can see these are what's there as we came in. 35 by 49. 48 contracts. So that goes 2 lots. So we got 2 that came in. Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm fucking... What did I... I'm sorry, guys. I'm like... Here we go. So 2 lots. Hits up. Do you see how that 536 printed? What happened was this offer right here got hit. You can see 38. It goes from 18 to 38. You can see that very briefly a 12 lot comes in. So we're at 97. It goes 99. So that's what, 2 contracts? And look, the bid drops. Oh, something actually came in though. 26. So you got, what, 26 minus. Spent fucking hours dicking with this shit. Minus 99. Right? 226 minus 199. 27 contracts came in. So they were showing 49. So you see how they're showing 49, but then it gets pushed on 27 contracts. But immediately 170, immediately some of that pushed it comes right back out. So you have fucking 49, but it moves on a 27 lot. That is a spoof, man. It's not like they pull it to 0 all the time or what have you. So they took like half of what was there off. So it got driven down on 20-something lots. And if you kind of like scroll over to the delta here, you can see the 26. So it did show the 27 lots that pushed it, but immediately a 1 lot came back in and bought, which dumps that back down a little bit lower. So that 49 that was there disappeared. It only took 20-something. Let's keep going. So what are we at? 125 down here. So it goes, what is that? 140 minus the 125. I'm not good at math, so a 15 lot, right? So they're showing 64 and a 15 lot come in. But do you notice, look, do you see this 88? See how this 88 goes up? So a 15 lot pushed this. So a bunch of that pulled. So 64 of that was bullshit. A 15 lot pushed it down. And then immediately there was buying here. So your DOM won't show you that offer because it's 20 frames per second. But you got to understand that those limits are moving 100 times a fucking second or 1,000 times a second. But your DOM's simply not able to catch that. So there was briefly an offer here you couldn't see. So that spread is really deceiving. Keep going. So far we've had 7 contracts trade at 79.25. So you got a 23 lot there, so it's 141 by 156. So a 15 lot came in, so some of that disappeared. That's spoofing. Like some of it's disappearing, right? And then immediately they buy back. And then you got 105 that was sitting here. Oh, look. So you can see the 5 lot. Then it pushes back up. Then there's a 1 lot. And then what? 8 trade. It's showing 19, but only 8 trade. So you got 110 down there, some shit. 105. Then it might start reloading in this section. But look how fast it's coming in. You can't really see it too much here. The way you can really tell is there's a few ways you can tell. It's just so hard to read in the numbers. The delta. Like you'll see it. You'll see really small contracts come in on the down bars. For example, here, you had a -12, a -4. We know they pushed it on smaller contracts on those ticks because we were watching it frame by frame. So this is going to be a little bit of an easier way to tell. But you can also, if you watch the DOM long enough, sometimes you can catch it in this market order column. Like if there's a hard run up or down, you'll see that barely shit fucking printed. So that is a way to tell it. You can just feel the price action on the DOM. I think you can feel the jerkiness on the DOM better because the market has a twitch to it. Like this morning I got into a short and it was going to 70s for the first time, but it rolled above 70s. And I took it off around 71s, but they were really struggling to go down, and then it would pop. It would just twitch really quick on the DOM, and then it would struggle down, and then it would pop up really quick. And I was telling me they're spoofing it up. They're running it up on not many contracts, but it's taking a lot of contracts to shove it down. It's like trying to sit on a spring or some shit. So that's how you can also tell they're sort of doing it. It's just like the twitchiness of the movement on the DOM. It's easier to see it on the DOM than the bars, in my opinion, because then you can kind of see the footprints of the order flow coming in. But it's just like how much are they struggling to go down? And then when you see a move, is it really rapid and fast? If so, they probably pulled. But a lot of the spoofing is super subtle, as you can see. Sometimes it's not many contracts. But what we can definitely see is what they're advertising on the bid offer on the average. Oh, 70, 60 lots, 70, 90s, whatever. That's what the average is, right? There's a lot of the times where that's not what's being fucking traded. So what's happening is a lot of this, in my opinion, is an illusion, and they just make it look like it's this thick. And then once you get to the spread, right on that spread, that's when the games begin, and then they can pull or start reloading. Because here's the thing, the reason they reload is they have to hide what they're doing. If they put their size on the DOM, like if you're trying to buy 1,000, you put it on there, dude, you're going to get front ran by everybody. So you got to feed it in slowly, right? And the best way to feed it in is right as the spread is getting to you. I actually have a complex order that I submit where I don't like my limits to sit there. I want it to come in right as that spread is going to touch it, and then it starts just like feeding it in kind of rapidly. And if it ticks down, it buys, like let's say I'm trying to buy the bid. If it ticks down, it doesn't all completely feed in. It'll buy a little bit of the offer. That's what they're doing. They're hiding what they're doing. And at some point it's a good idea to fucking hide what you're doing, but get consistent first. Like if you're trading a couple of contracts, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to run into too many problems, but once you get to a certain size, it starts to become a little problematic and shit. So they're hiding the fucking shit right as that spread taps into it. So a lot of the level 2, the depth is just a fucking illusion, and then they'll just reload. You guys have seen it before. You've seen them reload like 1,500 maybe and it's just fucking reloading. But that's not what was being shown there. And there's a reason they need to hide what they're doing because other algorithms can see what they're doing. They're going to get front ran. I think the market makers wash trade because it hides true inventory when they're wash trading and trading with themselves. Because according to Anna, the market makers were a self-regulatory body for the longest time. And it was between the exchanges and shit. So the SEC or whatever didn't regulate the market makers. Exchanges encourage market makers to stimulate volume. How are you going to stimulate volume? Spoof it, right? Creates FOMO. So the wash trading, I think, is masking and hiding the true volume. Whereas if you look at the Delta profiles, it shows you that there really truly is an outstanding buy orders here at 1280. When you remove everything, because there could be like 10,000 contracts there that traded there, but it could be like 10,000 by 11,000. And most of that kind of cancels itself out. So what's really left right there? That's where the Delta removes a layer of that wash trading. Because again, I think they're hiding market orders. So when Joe Schmo, the fucking retail trader's market ordering in or whatever, you can't really see it because of all that fucking, just that constant volume. It's almost like a fucking carnival ride. It's just like spinning or some shit. And nobody's on the fucking ride. You know, maybe you see a fucking carnival on the side of the road, right? The Ferris wheel's going, everything's moving or whatever, but nobody's actually really on the fucking rides. It looks like they're on the rides. That's what I think's happening with these market makers, just putting in bullshit volume most of the time. To A, attract people, and B, it also masks and hides real market orders. You can't tell the difference between wash trading and who's really doing it, so it's really hard to see through that. Obviously, we know why they reload, and then the spoofing, come on. It stimulates volume when you put in a sharp move. For example, let's say they're trying to like get short, right? And a couple of market orders come in, and all they need to do is pull it. Like somebody else is short down here. They're trying to get short up here. Well, the next time some buy orders come in, just pull it a little bit, so that way the buy orders move the price way more, and then that stops out the original seller, and the stop out of that original seller fills the market makers up there. So sellers, you would think sellers are on the same side, and that's not really necessarily the case in the lens of manipulation. If you can get the sellers to stop out down here by spoofing up here when a couple of buy lots come in, those buy lots will jump the market up on not much, and then these guys might start to stop out, which thus fills your sell order. That's the way I see it going. Either way, the markets are manipulated. We could obviously fucking see that. See what you guys are talking about. Let's see. I don't know where my motto's. I don't give a shit. Keeps me on the cushion. Let's see. You guys have talked a lot. My motto is I don't care shit about shit. Keeps me curious. This is way before the drop. Did we drop? I don't even know what the fuck we're doing because I'm like rambling. Yeah, we did. We never... Look, if I was still fucking long there, they would have fucking they would have clapped my cheeks, dude. The ES is very predatory, bro. It's really fucking predatory, man. It's like, I don't know. It's just like... It throws some change in front of you guys, and you're bending over to fucking pick it up, and then before you know it, it's behind you, and you're like, oh shit, what are you doing back there? And then you get a sharp pain in your ass. That's what happens if I would have stayed in that. So I don't know, man. It's a very ES is a very deceptive, cunning motherfucker, and I've looked at it almost my entire career. So for me, I know that it loves the fuck both sides. A little on both sides. Consistently. Use and so fast forward frame by frame. I'm enjoying the live video. Thank you. Me too. Question about Delta. Why do stop use volume profile and start using Delta? I do have a live stream on why I stopped using. Let's see if I can find it for you. There is a live stream on it. If you just go into the live playlist, it is like 4 or 8. Yeah, episode 4. Why I don't use it? Talks about it. I'll give you I'll sum it up though. It just didn't really work all that well for me. Price action mattered the most. I just realized, I went through a phase where I was just getting rid of shit that didn't benefit my trading, like VWAPs. Yeah, it's fine, but most of my trading was I didn't need it. So what's the point? Same with the volume profile. A lot of my decisions were being made on reclaim trades, which they're hitting one now, actually. It's 250. They spoofed it up too. See how it's low colored? But I did talk about the problem with volume profile earlier in this video. Now they're putting in some natural buying. We know there's more reclaim up here. If I was to get along through this reclaim, I would need to do it on a pullback. Let's see if it does it. See if they do it. See if they fucking they're pulling it back. Oh, somebody reloading up here. See, I wouldn't want to just like jump into that fucker. It's also they're also fucking absorbing. So a lot of this green right here is holding the market down. But I'm not seeing a lot of red glowing down here, so that's telling me it could dump in. But I don't know, the book's not trying to... they balanced the book up. There might be more reclaims over here, we just don't see them. So we need to mark out the high of this. And we need to make sure we can see this reclaim. There's more here. Here. Come back in. So they are fucking reloading the fucking piss out of it in this section. I know it's market on close or whatever. It's kind of spoofing up a little bit. See how it's lighter green boxes, and then you have that. I don't know if they're trying to reload it more. So they just closed out that reclaim. See, I noticed these things a little bit later. It takes me a minute to like stalk it and find it and then like hunt it. Like I need to be like in like kill mode in order to get something like that. I don't know if there's any price reclaims up here. There is a little bit over here. Just a fucking gnat's ass of shit. But these motherfuckers reloading like hell. And there's a reclaim here on the 3-second. Bit of buyer reloading there. I don't know if they're going to try to balance the book, though. There could be a... I was going to say there might be a short here because it's flat. I don't know if I would have been able to get into that to ride that reclaim. But why not a volume profile but delta? I don't really... reading the delta profile is a little bit difficult. When they put in high nodes, they definitely are like rotate them and shit. But the problem, I said it earlier in this fucking stream, is most of the volume is wash traded. So the deltas remove all that fucking wash trading. So therefore the volume profile is going to have a lot of wash trading in it too. God damn, they are trying to jam that. They're really trying to reload this top end. So you can see the book is trying to balance, like the delta is trying to balance all these reclaims. It's trying to like run up. Like if we go to a 3-minute, they're really trying to like balance this because there's more net selling overall. So there might be a shitload of reloading, even though that delta could be like going up. But deltas get rid of wash trading. And obviously I called out a few trades on here that I would have wanted to take. See, they're trying to fucking hit up here, but the problem is it is absolutely fucking reloading. Now, the thing is they're going to keep hitting up, and it might go up a tick or two. We know there's heavy reloading in this section. They're having a hard time getting it up there for sure. See, there's too much reclaim on both ends. See how these aren't really glowing hyper red on the way down? It's interesting. There's definitely some buying there. Well, we got 4 minutes. Kind of right. See, it's really stuck, dude. I don't know what the DOM looks like, but these nodes aren't getting super big, though, so that's telling me, like, there seems to not be. They fucking started a hold right there. A little bit. My thinking on this, just want to keep track of this shit as they go up. I don't see, the problem is they're trying to balance that, and I would wait for that to get done before I really considered it, taking advantage of it. And it's balancing right here. But I don't know if it's to the tick, because I kind of drew it real sloppy and shit, so I wouldn't really fucking know. But they're really suppressing this fucking movement up. I imagine it could spoof and dump low quickly. So, possible, I don't know if this is the top of it for sure. Possible 90.75, maybe. That's still running, which I wouldn't like. You'd be up a tick. I'd get the fuck out of that. See, it's not moving for shit. See how that volume is just fucking cranking, dude. But most of the market participants are trying to hold this gnarly buying. Let's see if they can balance it here. This would be maybe a retest, 90.75. Fuck, they're still driving it. Yeah, 90.75 for the short. I would pull at 80. I'd pull it right the fuck there. 89s. I figured they would spoof it down a little bit. They were just they were over driving it. Hopefully you can see how that's working now. How that all worked. We know they were fucking reloading here. But the delta's showing us like some true blue fucking volume because look. All right? They were originally selling They were originally holding the market here. Look, the son of a bitch is still more buying overall, but notice how the market is really being suppressed. Okay, they spoof it up right there. That goes up on not shit. But that's why I would have fucking scalped it for about 5 or 6 ticks. Why? Because that would fuck me right in the ass like I showed you earlier when I put my ass in front of the camera. And then before you know it, we'd be up about 15 so ticks maybe. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm careful with Delta due to the fact that aggressive market orders hit diagonal. At times, a Delta gives me a wrong read on sentiment. Dude, I'm going to be honest, like, I've looked at Delta for years. I made a video on it a long time ago. I used to fucking not like it. I used to crap all over it. But I still looked at it. I had it on my charts for years, and to be fair, it took me like, I don't know, it took Anna's book on volume price analysis to start to realize shit. It also took my own experimentations with wash trading and just noticing the reclaiming in the Delta. If I was to give you any piece of advice with the Delta, watch those fucking reclaims. Watch them. I mean, I try to give some examples on this stream, so. Oh, you had an ES short? Damn, dog, I don't know where you shorted. See, for me, I can't take my hands off the mouse. The moment I do, it's just... I have a tag in that. I have a tag on that, actually. Giving up or some shit. When I just, like, take my hands off the keyboard. Well, it's not here. Let's put it up. See how it's performing. I haven't looked at it in a fucking long fucking time. This one right here. Giving up. That means I'm just like, I put the trade on and I don't like actively do shit. I mean, I don't have the highest sample rate on it, but we can see it's not really done shit for me. That's when I just put a trade on, I'm like, whatever. But also, I haven't tagged every fucking trade. That there's definitely other trades I should be tagging with that I kind of let slip through the fucking fences there. I'm starting to climb all over this fucking chair. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Always perfectly. Good luck. Just lowered my latency from 100 milliseconds to 20, and holy shit, yes. Are you talking about the DOM? If you're lowering, hey, be careful with lowering your latency on the DOM because you'll see bid offers moving in and out more, but the problem is when there's like a really hard move up and the breakout happens, that could lag on your ass. Like when you get when it actually breaks out. So yeah, you're seeing more bid offers coming in and out, but if there's a hard up move, you'll like get a little bit of lag when you dump the latency like that. They tested VWAP on NQ. Delta is tricky. Anyways, guys, I was going to tell you a story, but fuck, I'm going to have to do it in a different stream because this was fucking 2 hours long. I am going to get the fuck out of here. It's 3 o'clock. I want to, like, not be here all damn day long, so I will talk to you guys later.